Team Dragon kayak fishing videos. I just wanted to share a little bit of tackle info with you guys before I go out to do some drumming. That's going to be Series 4, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so basically, I'm going to be going out there targeting these drum in the river, the Maumee, with some Beetlespins and some bucktail jigs. Right now, the bottom of the river is starting to accumulate a little bit of what I like to call freshwater snot, which is basically that slime, that nasty green algae. And anyways, so basically I want to talk a little bit about the bucktail jigs and Beetlespins. Not only are they effective for targeting like drum and largemouth bass, but they're essentially effective for a variety of species. And these are one of my favorite baits to go out there and go fishing with, especially in a new fishery. So this one here, as you notice, it has a custom Colorado blade there. What's so cool about these Beetlespins is that you can customize them in a variety of fashions. And when I go out to a new fishery, I found one here in the local town. It's a pond, only about maybe 10 acres in size. But I heard that there's some hybrid bass that they stock in there. When I go to a new fishery, I'm going to be bringing this, the Beetlespin. Because the Beetlespin, you're going to have such a variety of fish that are going to be targeting this. You're going to be, catching bluegill with this, crappie with this, largemouth bass, gar will hit this, white bass will hit this in the river, stripers will hit this, hybrid bass, and occasionally catfish will hit these. You can customize them with a variety of blades. I've had extreme amount of luck with these. I've caught a lot of different fish, but by far my favorite is a Colorado silver, or with a customized blade, and of course like a 3-inch power grub on there. This is going to be excellent for the Maumee River whenever it's rained, simply because the water is muddy, so you want a brighter color or a darker color, and that's why I use that. The jig head itself, what's so cool is that these fish, the reason you put a jig head on there that is vibrant and flamboyant in color is because the bigger fish, they hone in on that eye, and they target the front aspect of this Beetlespin. And typically, when you're fishing a river with this and you're bringing it upstream, you're going to see a lot of those fish. They'll come up behind it, and all the big fish will have wrapped their mouths around it, and you'll have to dig it out. But again, excellent. I'll be using this out there on the river. I'll be using the bucktail jigs out on the river, and those are going to be my two go-to baits. You can't go wrong with a bucktail because of its historic value. More importantly, it has a very very smooth, very lifelike appearance in the water. So, this is just a quick tip. If you're going to be going out to a new location, do not hesitate to try a Beetlespin. Reason being is because you're going to be able to pinpoint the variety of species that are most prevalent in that fish hatchery, whether it be a lake, a pond, or even the ocean. You're going to catch a lot of fish on this Beetlespin, and you're going to really enjoy that because of the different variations that it can go through in the water column. High, low, you can let it drop on the bottom and pump it and let it drop, pump it, let it drop. You could cast it out there and pump while retrieving. You could cast it out there and retrieve. You could do all kinds of stuff with this thing. I feel like it's like Bubba, it's like shrimp and Bubba. Baked shrimp, boiled shrimp, grilled shrimp. The list goes on. So try it out, and if you have any luck with it, let me know. But it's definitely going to bring you success out there on the water, and wait until you see some of the big drum that we're going to be pulling up. Last but not least, one last quick tip. If you're going to be going out to a new fishery, check out, try and to use one of these rigs right here. This is called a drop shot rig. You know, there's a lot of variations, but this is kind of my modified version. So what you can do is you can take my favorite type of hook for drop shot rigging is, believe it or not, you can get the customized drop shot hooks, or you could just use one of these, which is basically, it's an eagle claw bait holder hook. That's the name of it, eagle claw bait holder hook. The reason I like it is because the hook is offset from the shaft. Also, it has barbs. I don't know if you can see that on the shaft, 2 of them. Excuse me. So this is really good because what you could do is you could take the line, and when you have it tied on there, it'll sit like this. Now, you could use a night crawler and tight line for like catfish or bluegill, or you could take a curly grub like this, right? Say you're using a Beetlespin or a bucktail or a crankbait like the Arkies, and you found a good group of white bass hybrids or crappie. You could go out there, then take your set your anchor in your kayak, grab your bait holder hook, thread it on, right? So you thread your grub on like such. Now you have your drop shot rig that you're tying up. You tie your drop shot rig on there like this, right? Now the grub's sitting on your main line like this. You cast out there and you pump it off the bottom. So you can have 1 or 2 grubs, right, pumping off the bottom, or you could slow retrieve it, and it's going up and down the water column, hitting all aspects of that column so that you can target those fish that are hitting and that are active. This is also a great way to even target bass. If you want to upgrade the size to swim minnows like this is a 1/0 bait holder hook. You could put that on there like that. Swim minnow is one of my favorites. Put the drop shot rig on there, on a drop shot like such. Okay, tie it on your main line perpendicular like that. Cast it out there and slow retrieve 1 or 2 minnows, and now you have 2 minnows, you know, swimming like that, one in front of the other. And that's an excellent presentation as well. You can even put a paddle tail on there if you want to. You know, even if you're in the ocean, you can put like a 1/2 ounce, 1 ounce cast out there with a big DOA paddle tail or curl tail, and just swim that along the bottom, slow retrieve. You're going to catch sea trout, you're going to catch red drum, and a whole slew of other fish. So this is why I like the drop shot. It's one of the most universal rigs that that I like to throw anytime I go to a new location, or if I'm just trying to catch fish in general. That's just one of my go-tos that I always carry on one of my spin casts. Typically, you know, around here for freshwater, I'm throwing Trilene Big Game 10-pound test. It's a monofilament, and these swivel hooks you can buy at Walmart, and that's typically what I'm throwing, and that's why I'm being successful thus far out there on the river just throwing that. So stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments about the tackle that I'm using, just let me know, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm going to bring you guys series 4, which is our drumming video, and you're going to see me out there in Maumee River, Ohio, and it's going to be a good time. The river level is low. It's about 3,200 cubic square feet discharge, and the water's kind of murky. So they're coming off post spawn right now, the drum, but I was out there yesterday and I was catching some mamas, and certainly no dinks. So stay tuned, and hope to bring you more informative information about Lake Erie fishing and the Maumee River, Northwest Ohio. This is Mike with Team Dragon. Be safe and tight lines. It ain't easy to spread your wings. Someone's got to do it. Dude, I'm doubled up, man. Doubled up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Well, we had actually it's a triple because I just had mine. I'll get this unhooked and I'll come help you.